I remember when I was a kid, I hated everything about reading. Reading was just something that got in the way on a sunny day when I wanted to go outside and play with my friends in the neighborhood, or when there was a good movie on. Reading was the fence I had to hurdle in order to keep up my good grades throughout elementary school and middle school. Reading and I just failed to see eye to eye. And to be completely honest, this trend continued throughout most of my academic career. English classes were always the classes that I struggled with, and I could never understand how anyone liked to read, or for that matter, liked anything about English. Aside from English, all throughout school, I was always a student that did fairly well. I was an honors student, and I was in honors and AP classes. Then, my sophomore year of high school, I was recommended to be put into AP Language and Composition, which was the honors English class for juniors. I remember receiving the news and laughing to myself because there was no way that my school actually thought I should be a part of their English honors program. My parents urged me to think about it, but I had already made up my mind that there was no way this was going to happen. Honors English was simply not the place for me. It was springtime when I received this news, and for me that meant only one thing. It was baseball season. When the spring came, the only thing I looked forward to after school was baseball practice with my best friends and the whole team just having fun, playing ball, just like we were still little league kids. That's how baseball was for me. It took over my life, and I loved it. The head coach was a man by the name of Mr. Castle, and Mr. Castle and I really always got along. And during the baseball season, he really became a mentor, and I always looked up to him. I remember telling him about the news, about how the school suggested I try honors English, and I expected him to say something about how if I didn't want to do it, I shouldn't take it. But the response I got shocked me. He told me, "Brian, you should seriously consider taking that class." And he went on to tell me about how challenging myself would ultimately help me in all aspects of my life. But the final thing I remember him telling me is that he would be teaching the class. For the first time since I received the news, I was seriously considering taking honors English. After much thought, debate, and pros and cons sheets, I decided that I would take honors English my junior year. And that experience has been a large turning point in my life. Throughout the course of the year, I began to see the power of literature, and I began to see what it was like to read a story and fall in love with it, and I began to finally love to read. English wasn't simply a subject anymore, but it became something that I wanted to pursue, and I never wanted to stop analyzing texts or finding symbols or researching authors' backgrounds. Literature simply became a part of me. And to this day, literature still is a part of me. During my junior year of high school, I learned that literature, reading, and writing can change one's life. With my teacher, Mr. Castle, initially paving the path, I've been on a journey into the depths of literature, and although there have been a few hurdles to jump, I've loved the journey so far, and I hope that the journey always stays as hopeful and as pure as it originally was and as it is now, because reading and English will now always be a part of my life. I often wonder how my life would be different if Mr. Castle didn't challenge me to take honors English, or if the school hadn't suggested that I take honors English, but I guess it's safe to assume that all those things happen for a reason. I consider myself very lucky that I had the guidance of my coach, teacher, and now my good friend, Mr. Castle. Without his words of encouragement, I certainly wouldn't have been pursuing an English education degree. I hope that one day I can help students in the way that he helped me, and perhaps that's where the beauty of teaching lies. In the cycle of being helped and having a great mentor, in the hopes that one day you will be a great mentor for someone else. This hope and this journey with both reading and writing and pursuing a career in being a teacher have so far been a great experience, and the rest of the story, well, it's to be announced.